Wait. I look so messy today. Not that had so. Wait. So right now we got only 11 people in the room. I tried to find the other people in the waiting list, but I still couldn't find them. For example, Mr. Dom, I haven't seen him here. I don't know what happened. Okay, wait. Technology disruption. Okay.
Hello, like is there a way that you can generate a code for us instead of the link? So by having a code, we just can join directly without having to request.
Okay, wait. But how to get a code?
I think around somewhere where you copy the link to us, there's also a way to generate a code, but I'm not sure how to generate a code anymore too.
I only see get the link, and then we have no any buttons for the getting the code. That is why I'm very struggling with finding the code. But let me go to add member, and then put Udom right here. What is the name of Udom? UODOM? No. Okay. We got some other people requesting to join me now. Okay, wait. Okay. Yeah, we got Chan Tebadam right here. Retreat, yeah, I accepted them. Morakot, Sim Liang An. Okay. All right, guys, confirm in case that you are here. All right, so we got some people coming in. We got Ros Senasa. Okay, and Darlene is coming as well. Okay. Yeah, right now we got 30 members in the group. So I got one important notification. Okay, Darlene is also coming in. Okay, so it might be a little bit struggling on the first day, but when it comes to second day, we will be enjoying, okay, a lot of lecture, okay. So Panyarod is here, Posomtai, Sunhu, Siekong, Dalia, Sina, Hida, Chandanit, Yus Radawin. Okay, let me see more. Chiu Meng, Vichat, Sripik, Somnam, Sukun Konitha, Siekong, okay. Leng An, yeah, we got here. Dane is also here. Dalin is also here. Lip Sabat is also here. And Mani is also here. Adam is also here, right? And also, okay, Dalia is here. Charlie Hiang, a Chinese actor. Yes. Okay. There might be more that I haven't counted. Okay, Sinasa, Sarikun is also here. Yeah, so Tony, and so on. Okay, guys, so welcome back to my present once again. Okay, so very fortunate for me to have a chance to give you lecture once again, but might be unfortunate for you because you might wish to see a new teacher, a new face, new experience again, to share with you on a new subject, all right? But I don't know why I'm here once again. Okay, okay. So I already uploaded my course syllabus, okay, a final course syllabus designed for you guys. You can go to read it briefly, and then you will see what will be the important lesson that we will be touching on. But I want to give you a reminder that we might not be going through all the lessons that have been said in the course syllabus, because I'm very flexible. In case that there are something new that happen around Cambodia trade development, I might switch, okay, to that area of issue, okay, other than going through the course syllabus. So I think you might understand my techniques of teaching, and you might not mind me, right? Because you might complain, teacher, why don't you go through the course syllabus distributed to us so far? Because we have been very prepared for the subject, the chapter, okay, that are mentioned in the course syllabus. No worry, right? I'm gonna blend all of them into the chapter and then go one by one in order to ensure that all you guys will be graduating with the more comprehensive understanding of international trade, especially when it comes to the trade negotiation issue. Okay, we went through two bilateral trade agreements so far, China and also South Korea, and all of them. China just came into force on the first day of January 2022. But South Korea, okay, South Korea, we have already got the ratification from the Cambodian side, from the National Assembly, and also the promulgation from the King last week, as I remember, last 2 weeks or something. But right now we are waiting for the ratification from the Korean side. Okay, so far we got two important agreements that have come into force in the first day of 2022. Okay, ASEP agreement and the CCFTA, Cambodia-China FTA. Okay, so it's a very big pride for the Cambodian government that we got the first ever bilateral trade agreement. Okay, first ever bilateral trade agreement. But before we could achieve this very tremendous, okay, FTA bilaterally, we went through a number of hardship from political calamity. For example, many people blame, okay, the Cambodian position of joining bilateral trade with China, bilateral trade agreement with China, with the belief that China will enjoy the most benefit from Cambodian side. For example, China will gain more market access into Cambodia with zero tariff line, for example, and Cambodia will enjoy very less benefit provided by China under the bilateral CCFTA here. Yeah, we went through a number of criticism, critiques. We went through a number of debate. We can say the storm, okay, that were attacked by many opposition parties, by many critics around the world who are not really, pro Cambodia, okay, who always wish to see Cambodia down. Okay, for example, when neighboring country always wish to see our country plunge into the water, okay, so they can actually hold the champion of power in South Asia. That is why we have to work very hard, okay, in order to achieve something that the other country do not believe we can do. I believe we can do. And I just met with the US recently. It's very secret view, very secret debate, very secret discussion with the US within the 2 weeks. I'm gonna tell you next time, not now, because right now the case is developing. Okay, so we cannot reveal any secret from our discussion that we have undertaken for the last 2 weeks. Okay. Okay, guys. So let me show you the course syllabus. Okay, that we are gonna go through. Okay. Anybody want to have any questions? You can ask me right now.
Teacher, one of the classmates whose name is Ranchan Visal is there requesting you have
okay, wait. Okay, sorry, Visal. Wait. So let me see the pending request. Okay, yeah, we got two other guys waiting outside. We got Chan Visal and Kibari. Okay. Hopefully they are in right now.
Yes, lecturer, I'm in right now.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much for joining me on the first day of our lecture. Okay, so let me show the slide for you now. Wait. Guys, today I might not go through the lesson very much. Hope you don't mind, because it's my first day in a new subject here, and also I don't want to go too far because today I got so exhausted and also still in my office. I don't want to be late to go back home. Otherwise, there might be something scary happening right here once again. I don't want to face the same memory that I faced last 2 or 3 months. Okay. Okay. Wait. Okay. Hello, guys. Can you see the screen right now?
Yes, like.
Okay. 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 So let me read for you. The trade negotiation course right here is designed to deepen your understanding on the process of bilateral and regional trade negotiation, especially in terms of preparation process that each member state is required to complete before or during or post the negotiation process. Okay. Additionally, this course also aims to illustrate some important tactics or techniques or approaches or strategy used by the negotiator. Okay. Students are also required or expected to learn how to conduct common analysis on trade policy, okay, on the recent area of study, including but not limited to Cambodia, ASEAN, and other FTA. Furthermore, Cambodia students are also expected to be equipped okay, with a general knowledge on the fundamental concept and the overview of international trade, economic, and WTO law. I think WTO law is quite common to you because you already went through in the last semester trade special topic on trade course, okay? And also their principles and also challenges. Okay. So what are the SLO expected learning outcome? Okay. So in terms of knowledge, by the end of the course, students will be able to acquire solid understanding of the common principle of international law, economic and WTO law, and the principle related to the negotiations of IPA. You will also gain knowledge on various subtopics related to the negotiation strategy and also approaches used by the negotiator. At the same time, you will also comprehend and are able to conduct a critical or general analysis on trade policy and FTA. And you can also apply the general principle of international trade, economic, and WTO law in your research. At the same time, you can also demonstrate an understanding of the latest development of different FTA, including, but not limited to, Cambodia and ASEAN. Okay, I didn't want to go through something that is repetitive, so let me go directly to the course outline that I think the integral parts of this course syllabus. So what are the course outline? What are inside the course outline? Okay, so on the first week, we are doing the orientation. I give you the overview of the course syllabus right here and also the assessment criteria. And also I'm gonna touch a little bit on the trade negotiation and also fundamental of the international trade theory, okay, international trade theory. Okay. And the second week, we will be looking at the topic number 1, but part 1 of part 2, because we got 2 parts in the topic number 1. The first one is fundamental theory of international trade. The second one is the fundamental theory of international trade as well, but we look at the trade liberalization and also adjustment. Okay. Then we will move on to recall all the very basic, okay, WTO principle and also the basic legal framework of IPA. Okay, not to go through, not to go deeply, but we'll recall what we have studied so far, because I want you to pull up, okay, what we have studied in the previous semester. Okay, and then in topic number 3, you will be looking at MA. MA in general, we know as the market access. Okay. In the if you are the trade negotiator, when you hear about MA, you understand quickly that it means market access. That country, that party of the member or the member of the WTO always seek, okay, to acquire in order to open the space for their product to be exported into the foreign country, okay, by negotiating the level of market access liberalization. In market access, you will look into what we call trade in good, tariff, non-tariff measure, modalities of non-agricultural and also agricultural products. You will also look at the rule of origin, which is very critical in the studies of international trade. Okay? Rule of origin here is very imperative when you want to know how much % of tariff that will be applied on your product when you export to a certain country. Okay, because you, for example, right now, when the CCFTA or RCEP agreement come into force, exporter in Cambodia will need to apply certificate of origin. CO. I think you know quite well about the word CO. If you are the broker, okay, of CO documentation in at my ministry, you know the word CO very well, and you can earn so much money, right? But right now, in order to become a CO broker in at my ministry, to represent 3, 4, 5 companies that need to apply for CO from my ministry, you need to get a license. Okay? You need to get a license from my ministry first. Okay? You cannot just I'm right now the new broker. I want to represent 3 or 4 companies, and then I want to facilitate or to run up to process document with your ministry, and then get a commission fee from the business owner, the company, for example. You cannot do so anymore. You need to get a license first. Okay, for example, you need to undertake some training provided by my ministry, in order to equip you with the legal perspective, with the legal knowledge, okay, with the technical process, okay, of how to get CO to represent the company that you are studying for. Okay. Topic 3, we will be looking at trade and service. You will also look at a very important aspect of trade and service procedure. First one is positive list. We refer to the list that only include what we open. However, right now many developed country, advanced country like the US, Japan, for example, Australia, New Zealand, okay, decided to switch to negative list. In positive list in service, it means that you only list the item or the service sector that you liberalize. In positive list, you only list the service sector that you liberalize. No regulation, no barrier, for example. However, right now, advanced country decided to move to negative list, meaning that you only list what you will not allow to enjoy supplying service into Cambodia. Okay. It means that the rest of service that are not mentioned in the list will be liberalized, will not face any barrier. But the item, the sector that are listed here will face barrier, will face regulation. And it's very hard for small country, for poor country like Cambodia. Because if we accept hostile list, we only list what we liberalize. So our trade partner can only export their service into Cambodia and get liberalized barrier in their service exported into Cambodia only when we list here. But in negative list, we list what we don't allow. But new technology always happen, and we fail to list something that we don't know yet. For example, right now we list the supply of hairdressing service. Okay. In positive list, when you list it, it means that you allow the foreign supplier of hairdressing service to do hairdressing service in Cambodia. In positive list. But in negative list, when you include hairdressing service in the list, it means that you do not allow the foreign supplier to supply hairdressing service in Cambodia. So you only list that. But when the hairdressing service has been adapted, for example, right now, there is another form of hairdressing service. For example, it is not about purely hairdressing, but we have some extra service inside that. They can supply in Cambodia freely without any barrier because you don't include into your negative list. You don't include into the list that you restrict. You got a point? Okay?
Hello, like sorry for interrupting. Sashanit, she is requesting to join right now.
Okay, wait.
Please have accept her.
Okay. Okay, so we got 2 more. Sonita and Sitania. Okay. Okay. So positive list and negative list is very complicated, but don't worry. I just give you a very brief picture, and then when we come into lecture in detail, I'm going to give you a very comprehensive picture of what does it mean by the word positive list and negative list. And trust me, it's very relevant right now in international trade negotiation, especially under RCEP, under CPTPP that the US withdrew in 2017. They also right now adapt or adopt what they call negative list approach. Negative list approach. You can go to check on Google. You will see the word negative list a lot appearing in the document that relate to international trade.
Teacher.
Yes.
So a positive and negatively is like similar to a schedule of commitment.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, positive list and negative list are the list inside the schedule of commitment of trade in service. Okay. So let me say in Khmer, positive list យើងរៀនកន្លងទៅនេះតែខ្ញុំបង្ហាញឲ្យមើលកន្លងទៅហ្នឹងគឺ positive list បានថាយើង list តែអាណាដែលយើងបើកទេអូខេយើង list តែសេវាកម្មនៅតែឥឡូវយើងលើកពីសេវាកម្មលេខ12តាក់ទងទៅនឹង legal service legal supplier បានថានៅពេលដែលយើងដាក់ legal service supplier legal service supply នៅក្នុង schedule of commitment របស់យើងបានថាយើងបើកវាក្នុងបរិមាណប្រមាណក្នុងទំហំប្រមាណក្នុងកម្រិតប្រមាណអញ្ចឹងអ្វីដែលយើងមិនបាន list គឺយើងបិទឧទាហរណ៍ supply ព័ត៌មានមកក្នុងកម្មវិធី VOA សេរីយើងអត់លើកពីហ្នឹងទេយើងអត់ list ពីហ្នឹងទេបានន័យថានៅពេលដែលយើង submit our commitment schedule ទៅ WTO នៅពេលដែលគេ adopted our នៅពេលដែលគេ approve our schedule of commitment in service បានន័យថាសេវាកម្មណាដែលមិននៅក្នុង schedule commitment list ហ្នឹងគឺមិនត្រូវបានបើកទេមិនអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យ supply មកកម្ពុជាទេអញ្ចឹងបានន័យថាយើង list តែអ្វីដែលយើងមានអ្នកឯងអាច supply តែអ្វីដែលខ្ញុំ list ទេអញ្ចឹងបើសិនជាខ្ញុំមិន list អ្នកឯងមិនអាច supply បានទេអញ្ចឹងប្រទេសក្រីក្រដូចយើងគឺយើងប្រើហ្នឹងវាស្រួលបានន័យថាយើងបើកតែអ្វីដែលយើងមានក្នុងដៃប៉ុន្តែប្រទេសអ្នកមានដូចជា EU New Zealand Australia គាត់កំពុងតែជំរុញឲ្យប្រើប្រាស់ negative list ដែលអវិជ្ជមានបានន័យថាយើង list តែវិស័យណាដែលយើងមិនបើកអញ្ចឹងអាវិស័យណាដែលយើងមិន list បានន័យថាវាបើកអាមុនយើង list តែអ្វីដែលយើងបើកឯអ្វីដែលយើងមិន list គឺមិនបើកគឺយើងបិទប៉ុន្តែឥឡូវ negative list គឺយើង list តែអ្វីដែលយើងបិទទេអ្វីដែលយើងមិន list គឺយើងបើកអញ្ចឹងបានន័យថាយើង list វិស័យធ្វើកញ្ចក់ឧទាហរណ៍ធ្វើកញ្ចក់ហ្នឹងគឺគេមានវិស័យហ្នឹងគឺយើងមើល detail នៅក្នុង sub sector nail decorating service ទៅខ្ញុំនិយាយភាសាសាមញ្ញ nail decorating service គេអញ្ចឹងបើយើង list វិស័យហ្នឹងបានន័យថាវិស័យហ្នឹងយើងបិទអត់ឲ្យមានសេវាកម្មធ្វើកញ្ចក់ទេអូខេធ្វើកញ្ចក់ទេប៉ុន្តែស្រាប់តែថ្ងៃមួយគឺអាសេវាកម្មធ្វើកញ្ចក់ហ្នឹងវាបែកមេឃជាងទៅជាអាសេវាកម្មធ្វើកញ្ចក់តាមលក្ខណៈ metaverse គេគឺឯងដាក់តដៃនៅខ្មែរគេធ្វើកញ្ចក់ទៅអាមេរិកបាន online just kidding right ឧទាហរណ៍ប៉ុន្តែបច្ចេកវិទ្យាវាដល់ដំណាក់កាលហ្នឹងណាតែឬក៏ឯងអាចចូលក្នុងកញ្ចក់មួយទៅតែចូលក្នុងកញ្ចក់ទៅកញ្ចក់ហ្នឹងគឺធ្វើឲ្យឯងទៅដល់អាមេរិកឧទាហរណ៍ for example គេ kidding ប៉ុន្តែគាត់វាអាចកាត់ឡើង metaverse inspiration នេះគេអញ្ចឹងយើងបញ្ចូលតែវិស័យធ្វើកញ្ចក់ចូលទៅក្នុង negative list បានថាយើងបិទអត់ឲ្យមានការ supply ទេប៉ុន្តែសម្រាប់តែវិស័យធ្វើកញ្ចក់គេ update គឺអ្នកឯងគ្រាន់តែលើកដៃនេះគឺគេអាចធ្វើកញ្ចក់ពីអាមេរិកតាមទម្រង់ metaverse នៅក្នុង Facebook របស់ Mark Zuckerberg for example គេអញ្ចឹងស្រាប់តែយើងទៅរៀនរាំងគេហេអ្នកឯងអាចធ្វើផ្ដល់សេវាកម្មកញ្ចក់ទឹកលុយអីតាមប្រព័ន្ធ metaverse បានទេពីព្រោះខ្ញុំបានបញ្ចូលទៅក្នុង schedule of commitment មកហើយរបស់ខ្ញុំហើយប៉ុន្តែ schedule of commitment របស់យើងគឺក្នុង negative list ទេហើយយើងបញ្ចូលតែតាក់ទងវិស័យធ្វើកញ្ចក់ប៉ុន្តែឥឡូវវា update ចូល metaverse មានលេខកូដថ្មីអញ្ចឹងវាអត់នៅក្នុងទម្រង់វាអត់នៅក្នុងវិស័យកញ្ចក់ធ្វើកញ្ចក់ដែលយើងហាមគាត់ក្នុង negative list ក្នុង schedule commitment របស់យើងទេអញ្ចឹងអ្វីដែលមកក្រោយអភិវឌ្ឍថ្មីហ្នឹងគឺយើងបើកឲ្យគេទាំងអស់ឧទាហរណ៍សេវាកម្មស្អីគេឥឡូវផ្សព្វផ្សាយគេយើងឈប់យើងបិទមិនឲ្យមានសេវាកម្មយើងដាក់ក្នុង negative គឺហាមឲ្យមានសេវាកម្ម sub site តាមប្រព័ន្ធ Facebook អូខេតាមប្រព័ន្ធ Facebook ពីព្រោះឥឡូវ Facebook IC សេរី VOA គេផ្សាយអត់មាននៅក្នុងប្រទេសទៀតទេយើងបិទសារព័ត៌មានបិទដំណាក់កាលរបស់ហើយចោទយើងថាយើងកុំខលតែលើយើងបិទទៅហើយយើងក្នុងច្បាប់យើងក្នុង schedule commitment របស់យើងគឺយើងបិទការ supply information ក្នុងទម្រង់ជា social media អញ្ចឹងយើង include ការ information supply on social media ហ្នឹងគឺបិទយើងដាក់ចូលក្នុង negative list របស់យើងក្នុង schedule of commitment អញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលគេចង់ supply គេមកមើលហ្នឹងគឺបានថាមិនអាច supply បានទេពីព្រោះកម្ពុជាដាក់ចូលក្នុង negative list គឺបិទអត់ឲ្យ supply ទេប៉ុន្តែស្រាប់តែគេបង្កើត network ថ្មីដែរមិនមែនជា social media វាជា professional វា quasi professional វា professional ផងវា social ផងវាពាក់កណ្ដាលដូចតែឥឡូវដូច email ចឹង email ឥឡូវគឺស្រាប់តែតិចទៀតគេបង្កើត email ទម្រង់ថ្មីដែលមានលក្ខណៈអាចឆាតអាច video call អាចអីបានអាចផ្សព្វផ្សាយសារព័ត៌មានអាចប្រើអ៊ីនធឺណិតបានគ្រប់កន្លែងអាចជំនួស Facebook ប៉ុន្តែវាមិនជា social media ទេពីព្រោះវាអាចជា professional communication gateway ទេបើ social media ដូចជា Facebook អីវាអត់ជា formal ទេវាជា social media បណ្ដាញសង្គមទេអញ្ចឹងយើងបិទតែបណ្ដាញសង្គមទេដល់ពេលគេអនុវត្តគេអភិវឌ្ឍ technology ថ្មីដែលស្រុកខ្មែរយើងដើរក្រោយគេ100ជំហាន100ឆ្នាំហើយគេអាមេរិកគេដើរដល់ណាដល់ណីអញ្ចឹងគេ supply មកកម្ពុជាយើងបានពេញទំហឹងហើយយើងបិទគេបានទេដោយសារតែយើងដាក់តែ restriction of broadcasting information through social media ប៉ុន្តែឥឡូវ social media មិនមែនជា social media ទេគឺអា email អាច call អាចនិយាយអាច video បានគឺវាមិនមែនជាទម្រង់ social media វា innovate លើអា social media អញ្ចឹងយើងបិទគេបិទមិនបានទេដោយសារវាមិនមែននៅក្នុង innovate ក្នុង negative list អញ្ចឹងគុណវិបត្តិនៃ negative list គឺប្រទេសក្រីក្រគាត់ list តែអ្វីដែលគាត់ចង់បិទហើយអ្វីដែលគាត់មានក្នុងដៃពេលនេះប៉ុន្តែ the future is very unpredictable is very unknown technology can create something new every day and that something new always impact your life okay? So when you only include what you have in hand right now it means that you open for the rest of the other service that will emerge in the future that you don't know right now okay? You got a point okay យើងចាប់បានអត់
Yes sure
hostily ស្រួលទេ include តែ sector ណាវិស័យណាដែលយើងបើកអញ្ចឹងអាណាដែលយើងមិន include អ្នកឯងកើតមកថ្មីអ្នកឯងកើតបច្ចេកវិទ្យាមកថ្មីគឺវាអត់ចូលក្នុង list ខ្ញុំផងអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំបិទទោះបីអ្នកឯង innovate មក6 7តង់ក៏ខ្ញុំបិទរួចហើយពីព្រោះខ្ញុំបើកខ្ញុំដាក់បញ្ចូលតែអាណាដែលខ្ញុំបើកទេអាក្រៅ list ហ្នឹងគឺខ្ញុំបិទប៉ុន្តែ negative list គឺខ្ញុំដាក់បញ្ចូលតែអាណាដែលខ្ញុំបិទអញ្ចឹងអាក្រៅ list គឺខ្ញុំបើកអញ្ចឹងបើសិនជា technology មកថ្មីដែលធ្វើ extra bill beyond what we have in hand right now អ្វីដែលយើងមានក្នុងដៃវាមានលើពីអ្វីដែលយើងមានក្នុងដៃហើយវាអត់នៅក្នុង negative list schedule of commitment យ៉ាងទេបើថាអ្នកផ្សេងអ្នកប្រទេសក្រៅជនបរទេសដែលនៅមកពីប្រទេសជឿនលឿនដែលមានបច្ចេកវិទ្យាចំនួនថ្មីចុងក្រោយនេះអាច supply service ទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងមកកម្ពុជាដោយគ្មានរបាំងអីសោះពីព្រោះយើងអត់មានបិទគេទេយើងបិទតែអ្វីដែលយើងដាក់ប្រឡងទៅទេ You got a point guys okay
Yes, sir, but I have question.
Come on.
So chỉ không ai số giờ nói sao update mà bà cái trang nhà nắng máu với mấy về innovation khỏi máu thế nhưng anh update anh negatively dương đã include anh nắng cho máu quanh tiền dương ở đây thường chẳng ban mẹ chưa
update bán luôn ra tại dương miền INO initiating negotiating right but anh không phải cho nhung toàn bằng tiếng mà thà nó bây giờ dương submit our schedule of commitment dương thử request to general consult or đặt INO ដល់យើងសិនបើថា INO នេះគឺសិទ្ធិក្នុងការកែប្រែបញ្ជីតារាងពន្ធគយរបស់យើងតារាង commitment របស់យើងបើយើងអត់មានអាហ្នឹងទេដោយសារតែ trade volume យើងវាមាន trade volume យើងមានតិចភាគីដែលធ្វើពាណិជ្ជកម្មរបស់យើងមានតិចវាអត់មានផលប៉ះពាល់ទេគេអត់ឲ្យ INO របស់យើងទេប៉ុន្តែបើយើងមាន trade volume ក្នុងវិស័យនោះធំយើងមានដៃគូដែលធ្វើការក្នុងវិស័យនោះច្រើនធ្វើការរកស៊ីជាមួយក្នុងវិស័យនោះច្រើន General Consult គេនឹងពិចារណាឲ្យ Special Status របស់យើងមួយគឺ INO មិនថាយើងអាចមានសិទ្ធិក្នុងការកែប្រែលើបញ្ជីមុខទំនិញបញ្ជីសេវាកម្មបានតែបើអត់ទេគឺយើងដាក់ទៅគឺចប់ឬក៏បើសិនជាអាចក្នុង Schedule of Commitment ក្នុង Service Agreement គេអាចឲ្យយើង5ឆ្នាំអាចកែប្រែម្ដង10ឆ្នាំអាចកែប្រែបានម្ដងអញ្ចឹងបើគ្រាន់តែយើងដាក់ភ្លាមគេដាក់ឆ្នាំទី1ស្រាប់តែឆ្នាំទី2 technology មកថ្មីមកផ្លោះតែពេលយើងចង់កែបានពីព្រោះគេថាតើគ្រប់10ឆ្នាំ for example អញ្ចឹងសំខាន់ណាស់ដែលយើងត្រូវមាន INR initial negotiating right អាហ្នឹងគឺសិទ្ធិក្នុងការកែប្រែអីមួយក្នុងការចរចាកែប្រែនៅពេលដែលមានការប្រែប្រួលអាហ្នឹងវារៀងបច្ចេកទេសជ្រៅខ្ញុំអត់ចង់ឲ្យយើងទៅវែងឆ្ងាយប៉ុន្តែឲ្យយល់ថាសិទ្ធិកែប្រែវាអាចបានរហូតទេគេវាមានលក្ខខណ្ឌចងទេបើយើងចង់នេះយើងត្រូវមើលពី trade volume របស់យើងពី active user of our product ហើយនឹង service ដើម្បីទទួលបាន special status ហ្នឹងយើងអាចកែប្រែយ៉ាងណាក៏បានដែរដល់ពេលដែលមានការប្រែប្រួលពីព្រោះប្រទេសមួយចំនួនដែលផលិតផលគាត់ដែលគាត់ commit ហ្នឹងដាក់ submit ទៅពី commit ហ្នឹងគឺផលិតផលហ្នឹងគឺជាផលិតផលដែលចម្បងនៃការនាំចេញរបស់នៃការនាំចូលនៃការនាំចេញរបស់គាត់អូខេអញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលគាត់អត់ដាក់ INR ហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលមានការគាត់ចង់ដោយសារឥឡូវមានការប្រែប្រួលនៃចង្វាក់ផលិតកម្មដែលធ្វើប៉ះពាល់ដល់ជីវភាពរបស់គាត់ហើយគាត់ចង់តម្លើងពន្ធបន្ថយពន្ធអីដើម្បីឲ្យ offset ជាមួយនឹង balance of payment របស់គាត់ឲ្យ offset ជាមួយនឹង trade deficit របស់គាត់ឲ្យ offset ជាមួយនឹង COVID-19 impact របស់គាត់អញ្ចឹងគាត់ចង់កែប្រែអីគឺកែប្រែបានទេហើយដល់ពេលកែប្រែបានរងគ្រោះខ្លាំងដោយសារគាត់ពឹងផ្អែកទៅលើវិស័យហ្នឹងវិស័យមួយហ្នឹងផលិតផលមួយហ្នឹងខ្លាំងមែនទែនប៉ុន្តែបើគេមិនពឹងផ្អែកទៅលើហ្នឹងទេទោះបីជាមានផលប៉ះពាល់លើហ្នឹងមិនបាច់កែប្រែបន្ទាត់ពន្ធគយមិនបាច់កែប្រែ restriction អីនៅក្នុង service ក៏បានដែរពីព្រោះអាហ្នឹងវាជាចំណាយតូចនៃ GDP របស់យើងទេប៉ុន្តែបើអាហ្នឹងវាជាចំណាយដ៏ធំមកទៅឥឡូវដូចករបស់កម្ពុជាមានចំណាយ 90% នៃ GDP របស់កម្ពុជាបើសិនជាក៏មានការប្រែប្រួល COVID-19 អីមកយើងនាំចេញនាំអីអត់បាននាំចូលនាំអីអត់បានធ្វើឲ្យប៉ះពាល់ដល់ជីវភាពរបស់យើងហើយយើងចង់តែកែប្រែទម្លាក់ពន្ធគយឬក៏តម្លើងពន្ធគយដើម្បី offset ជាមួយនឹង impact គេអត់ឲ្យពីព្រោះយើងអត់មាន INR យើងមាន apply for INR ផងអញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវ apply យកនឹងទុកដោយសារតែផលិតផលហ្នឹងសេវាកម្មហ្នឹងគឺជាភាគលាភដ៏ធំបំផុតនៃ GDP របស់យើងមានសិទ្ធិក្នុងការកែប្រែដើម្បី offset ដើម្បី adjust ជាមួយនឹង challenges ឬក៏ difficulty ដែលយើងជួបប្រទះ You got a point briefly គឺ briefly ទេអាហ្នឹងវាជាបច្ចេកទេសពាណិជ្ជកម្មគឺមិនមែនជាការងាយស្រួលទេគឺរញ៉េរញ៉ៃច្រើនគេរញ៉េរញ៉ៃច្រើនអញ្ចឹង negatively គឺសំដៅទៅលើបញ្ជីអវិជ្ជមាន positively គឺបញ្ជីវិជ្ជមានហើយរាល់ថ្ងៃដែលយើងចរចាជាមួយចិនចរចានេះគឺបញ្ជីវិជ្ជមានទេយើងបើកតែអ្វីដែលនេះទេប៉ុន្តែមានការប្រែប្រួលយ៉ាងណាហ្នឹងគឺមិនដឹងទេយើងចាំមើលបន្តទៀតបាទចាំមើលយើងកែបន្តទៀត You will also look at the investment TRIM principles of international investment law What do you mean by TRIM Trade related investment measure For example នៅពេលដែលយើងសម្រាប់ចិត្តឲ្យក្រុមហ៊ុនមួយដែលផលិតនៅក្នុងស្រុកយើងឯងផលិតទៅតែសម្រាប់នាំចេញមិនអាចលក់ក្នុងស្រុកខ្មែរបានទេអញ្ចឹង Amazon ដែលយើងដាក់បង្ខំឲ្យគេបង្ខំឲ្យក្រុមហ៊ុនគេដែលផលិតក្នុងស្រុកយើងត្រូវតែផលិតដើម្បីនាំចេញគឺមិនអាចផលិតដើម្បីលក់ក្នុងស្រុកប្រកួតប្រជែងរបស់យើងវាអាចជា measure មួយដែល violate international trade law គឺ TRIM measure នេះ TRIM agreement នេះពីព្រោះក្នុង TRIM ហ្នឹងគឺគេអត់ឲ្យប្រទេសដែលជាម្ចាស់ផ្ទះនៃដែលជាប្រទេសទទួល investment ហ្នឹងដាក់កំហិតឲ្យ investor ហ្នឹងត្រូវតែបង្កើតផលិតកម្មក្នុងស្រុកលក់ចេញទៅក្រៅប្រទេសហាមលក់ក្នុងស្រុកប៉ះពាល់ដល់ផលិតករក្នុងវិស័យតែមួយដែលផលិតក្នុងស្រុកនេះអញ្ចឹង measure ដែលធ្វើការរាំងស្ទះដល់សេរីភាពនៃវិនិយោគិនដែលមករកស៊ីស្រុកយើងឥឡូវច្បាប់ TRIM គឺមិនអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យរដ្ឋាភិបាលកម្ពុជាដាក់ measure ណាដែលបង្ខំក្រុមហ៊ុនបរទេសដែលនៅស្រុកខ្មែរត្រូវតែផលិតសម្រាប់តែនាំចេញទេដើម្បីឲ្យយើងចំណេញបានពន្ធគយផងដើម្បីឲ្យយើងចំណេញបានកម្លាំងពលកម្មផងពីព្រោះយើងអាចធ្វើការប៉ុន្តែអ្នកឯងមិនអាចលក់បានស្រុកខ្មែរបានទេពីព្រោះបើអ្នកឯងលក់វាប៉ះពាល់ដល់ផលិតកម្មស្រុកខ្មែរដែលផលិតផលដូចគ្នាជាមួយឯងអញ្ចឹង measure ដែលយើងផ្ដល់ជម្រើសឲ្យគេសម្រាប់តែលក់នេះវាអាច cause international trade law TRIM measure agreement នេះអញ្ចឹងហើយកន្លងទៅពួកយើងមានបានឃើញមានបណ្ណាមានបាន anybody I want to speak in English okay because it's very sensitive anybody hear the case between the Ministry of Economy and Finance and Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry on the pig issue anybody know that case វានឹងករណីជ្រូកដែលក្រសួងកសិកម្មនិងក្រសួងសេដ្ឋកិច្ចចាស់ទឹកដាក់គ្នាកន្លងទៅនេះហ៎យ៉ាតិចឆាអូខេពួកយើងមានបានមើលព័ត៌មានហ្នឹងទេ chỉ pin Facebook về nhưng mưa từ thì đường nó cứ tẹt thôn tới nông stream thì tẹt thôn tới nông stream dân hơi dương ngặt ai bật ca non châu Phi Việt Nam nằm bay ôi nè đâu có nông sọc chương phải lật chru coi ban tầm lại supply chru coi ban cái này chả đi dương mà ai vui chẳng thấy bị búaตัวสกอร์ถ้าการធ្វើចឹងវាពិតជា align ជាមួយនឹងគោលនយោបាយរបស់រដ្ឋាភិបាលក្នុងការលើកដំកើងអ្នកចិញ្ចឹមជ្រូកត្រូវប៉ុន្តែវាគឺជា IS import substitute measure ជា measure ដែលមិនអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យប្រើប្រាស់ក្រមយន្តការអង្គការពាណិជ្ជកម្មពិភពលោកទេពីព្រោះវារាំងស្ទះដល់ការធ្វើពាណិជ្ជកម្មអញ្ចឹងបើសិនជាគ្រប់ប្រទេសអាចអនុវត្តគោលនយោបាយឬក៏ measure ដែលអាចជំនួសការនាំចូលបានតាមរយៈការផលិតក្នុងស្រុកតាមរយៈការបង្កើន ICT ក្នុងស្រុកអញ្ចឹងពាណិជ្ជកម្មលើពិភពលោកលែងមានបណ្ដាគេនាំចេញនាំចូលហើយខ្ញុំលែងនាំចូលកង់ពីខ្ញុំលែងនាំចូលឡានពីជប៉ុនណាគឺជប៉ុនណែឯងផលិតដល់បាន$10 លានខ្ញុំឲ្យណែឯងកកស្ទះនៅជប៉ុនហ្នឹងមិនឲ្យនាំចេញបានពីព្រោះខ្ញុំកំពុងតែជំរុញផលិតករក្នុងស្រុកខ្ញុំឲ្យផលិតឡានដូចគ្នា Yes very right to do so because you support your own domestic manufacturer of the same car but if you are doing so in order to content Japanese exporter of car not to import into your country it means that you are violating three major international trade law because you substitute the import by promoting your local investment which indeed in return impede or restrict international trade of car of Japan it is again international trade law ចឹងយើងមិនអាចមាត់ការនាំចូលផលិតផលអីមួយដោយយកហេតុផលថាឲ្យប្រជាពលរដ្ឋយើងផលិតឲ្យបានច្រើនមិនអាចធ្វើចឹងបានទេត្រូវណាស់បើធ្វើចឹងវាលើដំកើងប្រជាពលរដ្ឋយើងកុំឲ្យជនបរទេសនឹងយកទីផ្សារយើងច្រើនប៉ុន្តែយើងជាសមាជិក WTO guys we are a member of the WTO since 2004 so all we do we must consider the international legal framework under the WTO we cannot just do right away depending on our let's say according to or in conformity with the domestic or the government rectangular strategy that promote the domestic farming and so on we need to decrease the levels of import the volumes of imports of certain products and then encourage our own producer our domestic producer to produce this kind of product to supply domestically to offset the decreased volumes of import from the foreign country you cannot do so because when you do so you discourage international trade you will not allow the other country to do trade with you when you substitute the import by promoting your own local people your own local farmer producer to produce the same kind of product to supply domestically you got a point that is one implications on the case of swine the case of swine yeah the case swine churu the subject they meant picking the swine okay you got a point and then
Yes.
we will also look at the unfair trade unfair trade refers to the important trade remedy for example safeguard measure anti-dumping and subsidy safeguard measure and unfair trade we got only two we got only subsidy and anti-dumping while safeguard measure is not unfair មិនបាន safeguard measure unfair ឥឡូវខ្ញុំសូមបញ្យល់តិចថានៅក្នុង trade remedy ក្នុង WTO ពួកយើងកត់មកណានៅក្នុង WTO trade remedy មាន3ទម្រង់ឧបាស្រ័យពាណិជ្ជកម្មមាន3ទម្រង់ទម្រង់ទី1ហ្នឹងគឺ anti dumping គឺ anti dumping anti dumping ច្រឡំប្រើភាសានេះ anti dumping ហ្នឹងគឺការប្រឆាំងការលក់បង្ខូចថ្លៃអញ្ចឹង anti dumping measure គឺជា measure សម្រាប់ប្រឆាំង unfair trade ពីព្រោះការទម្លាក់បញ្ចុះថ្លៃគឺជា conduct ដែល unfair គឺជាការអនុវត្តពាណិជ្ជកម្មដែលមិន fair ពីព្រោះអ្នកឯងលក់បង្ខូចថ្លៃដើម្បីឲ្យគេនឹងមិនអាចលក់បានអ្នកឯងលក់ទៅថោកដើម្បីឲ្យគេនឹងមិនអាចលក់បានអញ្ចឹងអាហ្នឹងគឺជា anti dumping ហ្នឹងគឺជា one forms of unfair trade ទី2គឺ subsidy បានន័យថាអ្នកឯងផ្ដល់ឧបត្ថម្ភធនដល់ក្រុមហ៊ុនក្នុងស្រុកឯងដើម្បីប្រជែងជាមួយក្រុមហ៊ុនបរទេសដែលធ្វើការរកស៊ីក្នុងស្រុករបស់អ្នកឯង anh trong control តែក្រុមហ៊ុនមួយពីរបីទេអញ្ចឹងវាអត់ fair ទី3គឺ safeguard measure គឺជា trade remedy ដែរប៉ុន្តែមិនមែនជា unfair ទេវាគឺជា fair trade បានន័យថាយើងគ្រាន់តែនាំចេញទៅអឺរ៉ុបនាំចេញទៅក្រៅប្រទេសក្នុងបរិមាណច្រើនយើងអត់មានគោលបំណងក្នុងការជន់ផលិតក្រុមហ៊ុនបរទេសក្នុងស្រុកគេមិនឲ្យគេផលិតផលដូចគ្នាមិនឲ្យគេលក់ដាច់ទេគាត់ថាផលិតផលយើងនៅពេលដែលយើងលក់ទៅវាដាច់ជ្រុលពេកគេចូលចិត្តច្រើនអង្គកម្ពុជាអញ្ចឹងមិនជាឆន្ទៈរបស់កម្ពុជាក្នុងការឲ្យជនជាតិ EU ទាំងអស់មកទិញផលទៅកម្ពុជាលែងទិញអង្គអេស្ប៉ាញលែងទិញអង្គអ៊ីតាលី No we don't want that ប៉ុន្តែអង្គយើងវាឆ្ងាញ់ okay our rice is very delicious it's very popular among consumers in EU so they decided to switch the preference of using EU rice to using Cambodian rice so this kind of excessive imports of Cambodian rice into the EU market cause injury to the domestic producer of rice in EU, especially in Spain and Italy. So it is the fair trade practice of Cambodia, but it is challenged. It is allowed to be challenged by the other member who face serious injury in their domestic production. It is not the intention of Cambodia to cause serious injury or difficulty to your domestic producer of the same kind of product I export into the country. It is not my intention, but the way that I export a lot to the country is by the fact itself cause injury. That is why the WTO law allow the other member, the importing country of your product to impose safeguard duty on your product. They do not say that you are wrong, okay, to export a lot excessively that cause injury to the importing country, the producer in the importing country. They don't condemn you, but they have to provide the mechanism for the importing country to impose on your export in order to offset with the loss with the injured company, okay, in EU, in the importing country, so that Cambodia will face higher tariff, okay, on the product that excessively got imported into EU. So when we face higher safeguard duty, safeguard tariff, our trader will be discouraged, okay, not to export more into the EU. And then EU producer of rice have space, have more room, have more opportunity to sell their rice among European consumers. That is the intentions of using safeguard measure. We don't have Cambodia importer or Cambodian exporter for exporting too much rice into EU, but we impose the measure allowed by the WTO law in order to safeguard the loss, in order to offset the loss occur among the European producer of rice in EU, because they want to decrease the volumes of imported rice from Cambodia to the EU in order for the domestic company that produce rice in the EU to be used there and then be able to sell among European consumers. So anti-dumping is unfair trade, because when you dump something, you sell at low price, too low price compared to the production cost. For example, you produce at $10, but you sell at $8 or $6, or $2 lower than your normal volume. That means that you dump, you intentionally want to cause injury to the other foreign, okay, partner. Subsidy, the government intend to kill the other company by providing only financial support to a specific company, few company. It is also unfair. But safeguard, it is not unfair. We export to the EU fairly. We don't have any intention to kill the producer of the same product in the EU. But our excessive export of rice into EU make the EU producers of rice face difficulty in selling domestically in EU. You got a point? Okay, you got a point?
Teacher, I have a question about subsidy.
Yes.
If, for example, if the government want to encourage local and foreign industry, if subsidy is not allowed, then how can the government interfere in helping teacher?
Subsidy is divided into three types: red line, amber light, and green light. The subsidy that fall into red light refer to the financial contribution by the government or the government agency to specific company. It is in the forms of financial contribution. ឲ្យតម្រង់ជាលុយអញ្ចឹងអាហ្នឹងចូលក្នុងតម្រង់ភ្លើងក្រហមបានថាមិនអនុញ្ញាតទេបើតម្រង់ amber light បានថាវាចូលក្នុងតម្រង់ជាផ្ដល់ជាហិរញ្ញប្បទានផ្ដល់ជាប្រាក់កម្ចីអីមួយចំនួនអាហ្នឹងគឺចូលក្នុងamber light បានថាគេអាចប្តឹងយើងក៏បានមិនប្តឹងយើងក៏បានទេបើ red light នេះគេដឹងតែប្តឹងឲ្យពីព្រោះយើងផ្ដល់ជាថវិកាជាដុំកំភួនជាជាក់ស្ដែងឲ្យក្រុមហ៊ុនតែ2 3ឯងអាក្រុមហ៊ុនផ្សេងទៀតយើងមិនឲ្យទេហើយពីណាគេអ្នកផ្ដល់គឺរដ្ឋាភិបាលឬក៏សមាជិកឬក៏អង្គភាពរបស់រដ្ឋាភិបាលអញ្ចឹងវា obvious វានៅលើគោកអញ្ចឹងវាជា subsidy ឯងដែលគេដាក់ចូលក្នុង red light ឯងគឺត្រូវតែដាក់យន្តការប្រឆាំង subsidy ហ្នឹងគេហៅថា countervailing measure គេថាយន្តការប្រឆាំង subsidy តែបើវាចូលក្នុង amber light បើថាវាក្នុងតម្រង់ជាហិរញ្ញប្បទានវាមិនមែនផ្ដល់ឲ្យរដ្ឋទេឬក៏វាផ្ដល់ឲ្យរដ្ឋប៉ុន្តែក្នុងតម្រង់ជាតិចតួចគេអាចប្តឹងក៏បានមិនប្តឹងក៏បានហើយបើសិនជាគេប្តឹងត្រូវមានការស៊ើបអង្កេតត្រូវមានការស៊ើបអង្កេតប៉ុន្តែអាមួយទៀត green light subsidy ហ្នឹងគឺ green light subsidy ហ្នឹងគឺអត់អាច actionable មិនអាចឲ្យគេប្តឹងបានទេពីព្រោះឧទាហរណ៍រដ្ឋាភិបាលផ្ដល់ជាជំនួយតាក់ទងទៅនឹងការ research development ផ្ដល់ជា policy ឬក៏បរិរដ្ឋាភិបាលបញ្ជូនមន្ត្រីខ្លួនទៅចុះបដោះបដាលប្រជាពលរដ្ឋដែលធ្វើការផលិតអង្គដែលធ្វើការផលិតអីមួយឬក៏ចុះក្នុង SME ដែលផលិតផលហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងយើងផ្ដល់ហើយប៉ុន្តែយើងផ្ដល់ជា technical support ជា research assistant ជា guidance ជា training វាចូលទៅក្នុង green light subsidy បានថា subsidy ដែលមិនប្រឈមនឹងការបំពេញដែលមិនប្រឈមនឹងការប្រឹងផ្ដល់ទេអូខេអញ្ចឹង subsidy គេបែងចែកទៅជា3 level red light amber light ហ្នឹងគឺនៅក្នុងដូចភ្លើង stop ទៅវាមានអាភ្លើងក្រហមភ្លើងលឿង amber light ហ្នឹងគឺភ្លើងលឿងហើយនឹងភ្លើងបៃតងអូខេអត់មានភ្លើងសភ្លើងខ្មៅនេះអាពេលក្នុងប៉ុស្តិ៍វាយនោះណាអញ្ចឹងវាមាន3 light ហ្នឹង subsidy ដូចគ្នាអាភ្លើងក្រហមត្រូវតែប្តឹងអាភ្លើងលឿងគេប្តឹងក៏បានអត់ក៏បានអាភ្លើងក្រហមអាភ្លើងបៃតងគឺមិនអាចប្តឹងបានទេពីព្រោះវាជា research វាជា training ឬក៏ការផ្ដល់ឲ្យជាលក្ខណៈ consultation policy support ប៉ុន្តែបើផ្ដល់ឲ្យជាលុយចូល red light subsidy ហើយគេប្តឹងបានហើយបើលុយនឹងផ្ដល់ឲ្យក្រុមហ៊ុនដែលមិនមែនជារបស់រដ្ឋអត់បញ្ហាទេប៉ុន្តែបើផ្ដល់ឲ្យរដ្ឋឬក៏ដោយសារដល់ឲ្យក្រុមហ៊ុនរបស់រដ្ឋឬក៏ដោយអង្គភាពរបស់រដ្ឋអ្នកខ្លះរដ្ឋប្រើខ្ចីដៃធនាគារគឺឲ្យធនាគារនឹងឲ្យលុយទៅក្រុមហ៊ុនមួយនោះហើយធនាគាររដ្ឋាភិបាលប្រាប់ថាអ្នកឯងកុំយកការពីអ្នកហ្នឹងអាហ្នឹងក៏ជា part of financial contribution ដែរហើយបើសិនជាធនាគារនឹងធ្វើដោយឆន្ទៈដោយឯងមិនមានការណែនាំពីរដ្ឋគឺអត់ចូលក្នុង red light subsidy ទេប៉ុន្តែបើសិនជាគេរកឃើញថាធនាគារនឹងឲ្យកម្ចីទៅក្រុមហ៊ុន1 2នោះឲ្យបញ្យកការប្រាក់ហើយដោយសារតែមានសម្ពាធពីរដ្ឋាភិបាលមានការណែនាំមាន incentive ពីរដ្ឋាភិបាលបើណែឯងឲ្យប្រាក់កម្ចីទៅក្រុមហ៊ុននោះដោយមិនយកការប្រាក់រយៈពេល10ឆ្នាំក្រុមហ៊ុនណែឯងខ្ញុំនឹងជួយគ្រប់ទម្រង់ខ្ញុំនឹងលើកទឹកចិត្តខ្ញុំនឹងប្រម៉ូទក្រុមហ៊ុនធនាគារណែឯងនឹងខ្ញុំនឹងឲ្យណែឯងបើកចុះឈ្មោះសាខាពេញទូទាំងស្រុកខ្មែរធ្វើអីក៏បានមកស្រឡាញ់ឲ្យតែណែឯងជួយក្រុមហ៊ុន2 3នោះឲ្យប្រាក់គាត់ខ្ចីដោយមិនយកការប្រាក់អាហ្នឹងក៏ជា financial contribution ដែលកើតឡើងចេញពីរដ្ឋាភិបាលទោះបីជាទម្រង់ជាធនាគារទៅកាន់អ្នកផលិតក៏ដោយអូខេអញ្ចឹងមាន3ទម្រង់ចាប់ឲ្យបានខ្ញុំមិនចង់ទៅហើយប៉ុន្តែគ្រាន់តែថាយើងនិយាយលេងបដាទៅដើម្បីយើងដឹងថាទីទៀតយើងចូលស៊ីជម្រៅវិញហើយយើងនឹងដឹងថាតើវាមិនកុំឲ្យចូលទៅដល់ឆៅតែម្ដងអូខេ got the point guys
teacher a follow up question teacher what is the difference between ហិរញ្ញប្បទាន and ហិរញ្ញវត្ថុ teacher are they the same
អានេះខ្ញុំអត់ច្បាស់ទេខ្ញុំអត់ឆ្លើយហ្នឹងចាំអ្នកសួរសេដ្ឋកិច្ចគេមាន criteria គេអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំអត់ចង់ឆ្លើយអ្វីដែលខ្ញុំអត់ specialization ទេយើងអាចចេះទាំងអស់បានទេ Okay, sorry.
Okay, teacher. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
One more question, sir.
Yeah, come on.
For safeguard measure, is it temporarily imposed or indefinitely?
What do you mean? Can you clarify your question once again?
So when you said when there are excessive amount of goods that might hurt domestic industry, government can impose safeguard measure, right?
3 years. Very good question. Only 3 years. Okay.
Only 3 years. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thank
So
you.
they imposed safeguard measure on Cambodian right in 2019. So 2019 to 2020, 1 year. 2020 to 2021, second year. 2021 to 2022, third year. So the safeguard measure by EU on Cambodian right will expire by mid 2022 right here. So by mid 2022, our right exporter in Cambodia can export to EU duty free, quota free. Okay? Right now we face 7% tariff, safeguard duty. Okay, you got a point? Only 3 years. But if EU found that by allowing the duty free, quota free import of rice from Cambodia from another year on, okay, and then it will cause more serious injury to the domestic producer right in EU. EU has the right to renew the safeguard duty by another 3 years. So they can renew only one time, another 3 year time. Okay, not renew 3 years and then 3 year renew again, okay? 3 year renew again. So it's gonna be 10 or 20 years of renewal. Okay, what is the meaning of using the 3 year safeguard measure obligation? Okay, you got a point? Very good question. And trust me, yeah, come on.
3 years is universal, right? The minimum.
Yeah. Universal, okay, universal. Not minimum, maximum, right? So the renewal is exceptional case when you found some other condition that you can convince the judge that by allowing more import, it will cause serious injury to the domestic producer of rice, for example, of the product that face the duty. Very good question. And my ministry, okay, the Cambodia at large, okay, are waiting for the expiry, okay, of the EU safeguard measure on Cambodia right, okay, so that we can export duty-free, quota-free to EU. But what happened? Even though safeguard measure expire by mid 2022, what still happened? EPA is still in the suspension period. So if rice is in the list of the product that face EBA measure duty, it is meaningless, okay, for safeguard measure to expire, because even though it expire, it still fall into the EBA suspension rule. It means that you still need to pay MFN rate when exporting right to EU. Okay. So they got two tier measure by EU. First one is safeguard measure under the WTO law. Second one is EBA measure under EU law, regulation 7978/2020 or 2012. Okay, I remember. Trust me, because I'm the one that involved in the EBA process. I'm the one that designed the timeline, okay, for ministry, okay, for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for the meeting with EU. Okay, the timeline of EU that I accepted from the regulation 978/2012, and the data of, let's say that we will lose 600% if the EU impose 20% of EBA UT. Okay, it's also calculated by me and my team. Okay, when I was in Laos, Vientiane. Okay. That is why I know the regulation, I know the article, I know the provision, I know the annex, because I was the one that got involved in the EBAs and safeguard measure process between Cameroon and the EU. Okay. We know that the case is very politically motivated, but technically we can learn a lot from the case. Okay, we can prepare next time what should we do before we face any safeguard measure UD, before we face any allegation on EU or by EU on EBA scheme, for example, the cross violations on human rights, land dispute, and so on. Okay, so we need to prepare. Okay, and we also learn that before we sign some convention, some treaty on human rights, think carefully. Think carefully. If you are not able to implement all the obligations, all the commitment that you made under the signed treaty, the signed convention on human rights or related right, do not sign yet, because this right, this convention will be tied with trade, will be tied with trade, will be tied with, will be associated, will be connected with trade, with aid, with assistance, with ODA, obviously development assistance, for example. So think carefully before you sign. Otherwise, you will put yourself into the convention trap, treaty trap, obligation trap. Okay, you got a point, guys? Okay.
Yes,
Hello.
teacher.
Okay. The rest, are you fine?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Neri, con chắc bán tới Neri. Chồng, ọt viên này kì.
Yes. Yes, like this.
Nhung cái midterm của dương hơi. Cái bị sabada môn nhung mất ban cái xông tốt hay nhung xông tốt nhung phải chia. The boss lecturer ដែលអត់ទាន់ឲ្យ paper ទៅដល់ពួកយើងអត់មាន transparency ប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំកែគឺដោយសុក្រិតបំផុតអត់មានបញ្ហាទេបើយើងចង់បានចាំប្រាប់ខ្ញុំមកខ្ញុំអត់មានយកទៅទុកនៅផ្ទះអីឲ្យកដោអីណានេះទេកដោអីនេះទេប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំអត់មានពេលខ្ញុំត្រូវសម្រុកពេលមួយខែឬក៏ពីអាទិត្យដើម្បីកែទាំងអស់ទាំង midterm ទាំង final ទាំងអីហើយខ្ញុំកែឃើញពេលខ្លះអានទៅចង់សើចប៉ុន្តែអ្នកខ្លះទៅសេបានល្អមែនទេសឹងតែ 90% គឺទៅសេបានល្អមែនទេហើយអ្នកខ្លះខ្ញុំឆ្ងល់ដែរមិនបាន midterm ចម្លើយទី2ទី3លេងចម្លើយទី2ហ្នឹងគឺដូចចម្លើយទី2របស់អ្នកផ្សេងដូចទាំងពី clear ដូចទាំងពីពាក្យដូចទាំងពី full stop ខ្ញុំចេះសង្ស័យដល់ពេលឆែកមើលចូលក្នុងខ្ញុំប្រើ Trinity របស់ UK ពីព្រោះអាហ្នឹងគឺអត់ដូចទូទៅទេហើយ Grammarly ហ្នឹងគឺឆែកបានតិចតិចអត់សូវជ្រៅប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំប្រើ Trinity ខ្ញុំមាន license របស់សាលា UK ខ្ញុំប្រើបានមួយជីវិត Trinity ហ្នឹងគឺ track 100%ដែលគេប្រើប្រាស់នៅ Oxford និង Cambridge ខ្ញុំ track ទៅឃើញចុងយកមកពិសោធន៍អូខេពីនៃមួយអូខេអញ្ចឹងត្រៀមមកហើយអ្នកដែលដឹងខ្លួនអូខេហើយអ្នកខ្លះគាត់មិនទៅសេចម្លើយគាត់ទុកចោលអញ្ចឹងទៅខ្ញុំមិនដឹងជាឲ្យបន្ទុកបែបណាអញ្ចឹងប្រឈមមុខនឹងការធ្លាក់តែខ្ញុំអត់ខ្លាចនឹងទម្លាក់ទេពីព្រោះការមិនទៅសេចម្លើយនេះគឺទៅសេខុសក៏ខ្ញុំសប្បាយចិត្តដែរបង្ហាញថាការតាំងចិត្តការចូលរួមរបស់យើងមិនតែបើមិនទៅសេហើយចាំឲ្យខ្ញុំផ្ដល់ជា concession សុំទោសខ្ញុំអត់ខ្លាចនឹងទម្លាក់ទេពីព្រោះពេលទម្លាក់ហើយខ្ញុំគ្រាន់តែ design ហើយខ្ញុំអត់មានពិបាកទេពីព្រោះ paper ដែលខ្ញុំ supplementary exam paper គឺខ្ញុំអត់ design សួរពី3នាក់មួយគ្រូផ្សេងគឺមុខវិជ្ជាខ្ញុំបរៀនដែរអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំ design ដែរខ្ញុំចង់ឲ្យអ្នកដែលធ្លាក់ហ្នឹងធ្លាក់ម្ដងទៀតស្រួល design តែពិបាកទៅយើងកែដោយសុក្រិតប៉ុន្តែពិបាកយើងអាចពិបាកទៅដល់ពេលគាត់ធ្វើមិនចេះកែដោយសុក្រិតទៅគឺអត់ចេះគឺតាមអត់ចេះធ្លាក់ទៀតធ្លាក់មួយឆ្នាំ easy គេចង់ទម្លាក់គ្នាយើងស្រួលហើយស្អប់ខ្ញុំស្អប់ទៅ I don't care ពីព្រោះខ្ញុំប្រឹងអស់លទ្ធភាពហើយប៉ុន្តែយើងអត់ជួយខ្លួនឯងផងហ្នឹងហើយខ្ញុំមិនដឹងនិយាយយ៉ាងណាទោះបីរវល់យ៉ាងណាក៏ខ្ញុំព្យាយាមសូម្បីថ្ងៃណាថតបានបរៀននេះប៉ុន្តែថ្ងៃដំបូងខ្ញុំឲ្យនេះព្រោះអត់បានគេអត់បានអីហើយខ្ញុំមកប្រជុំដល់ម៉ោង5ព្រឹកនៅក្រសួងសាធារណការបារំភ័យសិផាននេះតំណាងអ្នកនាំពាក្យរបស់ក្រសួងនីតិកម្មទៅចូលរួមកិច្ចប្រជុំជាមួយអាមេរិកអញ្ចឹងហើយរឿងសម្ងាត់មួយចំនួនគឺអត់ទាន់និយាយបានទេតែចាំមើលទៀតចាំមានចំណុចស្អីស្លាច់បាច់ចាំខ្ញុំចែកម្លែកប្រហែលជាក្នុង semester ហ្នឹងយើងអាចដឹងរឿងច្រើនជាង semester មុនគេហ្នឹងហើយ final ខ្ញុំកំពុងកែហើយអញ្ចឹង deadline ឆាប់ប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំអត់អីទេខ្ញុំកែមួយមកពីព្រោះតែ2ថ្នាក់អត់ប្រហែលទេ60នាក់កែ complete ទេកែ2ថ្ងៃទេអញ្ចឹងហើយបន្ទុកសរុបនឹងចេញឆាប់ថ្ងៃទី20ហ្នឹងហើយអញ្ចឹងជូនពរអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាជាប់ដោយសុវត្ថិភាពអូខេអូខេ come on
Where can we get the exam paper from you?
Final exam paper, right?
Yeah.
When we meet, okay. Oh, yeah, I think only when we meet. I don't worry, okay. I'm gonna map accurately and transparently for you guys, so you will see the map later on, okay. But I don't know when we meet, okay. I expected that I promised you in the last session of the last semester during our final examination that we would be having physical classing, okay, in our second semester. But right now, unfortunately, the case happen everywhere. Even my ministry right now very silent because many people got infected with COVID-19, Omicron right here. Okay. So very sad to see this. Okay. Yes.
Will you also return the written assignment to us too?
Yeah. I will submit back to you. Okay. Submit back to you. Okay. Yes. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, so you will also look at the procedure of international trade dispute. I think I already explained to you, so I might skip this because in semester 1 we already studied. So in semester 2 I will design something new, replace something new, for example investment law and so on. We will also look at the SDNT. I touched in semester 1 but not detail. So this semester we look into detail question. For example, enabling clause, what happened during the Doha round, what happened during the Hong Kong ministerial meeting in 2004. Okay, what happened in this year and that. Okay, so you will see what are the US obligations, okay, in providing GSP to Cambodia, and what are the lists. Okay. I remember last week I met with the US, and then the US said that we provided you a lot, Cambodia. We provided, for example, trade concession under the GSP by 82%. Okay, that we can export to the US duty-free, quota-free. That we need to pay the rest 18%. Okay, but if you go to see in detail the paper, the document that lists the US GDP provided to Cambodia, the US only provides GSP for Cambodia for the product that Cambodia cannot export. Okay, for example, the US I provide you duty-free, quota-free market access for car. Okay, but can Cambodia export car to the US? While textile, rice, okay, and other agricultural product face an tariff rate by the US. So what is the meaning of saying that we have you a lot by providing US GSP to you? But if we go to check the list carefully, the US only provide GSP to the product that we are not potential at using, at exporting. Unlike EU we can export everything except arm or ammunition. But in US, we can enjoy the GSP market only for the product that we cannot export. Okay, we have no ability to be used. We have no potential to export. Okay, like car, like machinery. Okay, I can export. Okay, while other agricultural product, textile, footwear, travel, good, and so on, clothes and so on, face ordinary tariff rate applied by the US. So what is the meaning of providing GSP to Cambodia and then always say that I have you through GSP a lot? Okay, that is my argument, all right? Okay, and you know, I remember the US questioned our Minister of Information. Why did you expel the Office of Radio Free Asia, or IFA? You know IFA, right, guys? You know IFA? Aziz Rais, yeah, yeah.
Sure.
They asked
Yes,
why did you expel the Office of IFA, VOA, and other Western supported media outlet from Cambodia? And then we say that because our service schedule of commitment submitted to the WTO did not allow the foreign supplier to have commercial presence in Cambodia. Mode 3, you remember commercial presence, guys? Mode 3? All right?
yes, teacher.
We close mode 3 in broadcasting service. So you can broadcast from the US online, on air, but you cannot come to open office in Cambodia. Our schedule of commitment does not allow you to do so. And then the US act that. If you know that your schedule of commitment does not allow so, why didn't you expel far before? Why just now when the Cambodia-US political relation became deteriorated, became worse? Why? Yeah, very soft when the US asked this kind of question because our schedule of commitment we submitted long ago. We can use it long times ago to expel all the foreign media supplier station in Cambodia, out of Cambodia. Why we just expel now? We just ousted them now, okay? And then we ask the question, why did the US expel a lot of Cambodian people who are born in the US back to Cambodia when they commit criminal act in the US? Why do you need to expedite them back to Cambodia, even though they are very much accustomed to or used to living in a US environment? They are very attached to the US culture, the US way of living. Why do you send them back? They said that based on the US law. And then we ask, why didn't you apply this measure long before the iterations of Cambodia US political relation? When the US suspected that we provide the space for China to build military base in the Rim area. Why you just apply the measure now? Why you just expel Cambodia now? Why not before? That question made US speak less. I never apply my law on VA on ARA. I just applied right now. And you question me this. But why didn't you apply your law on the Cambodian people who committed crime in the US to expel them back to Cambodia long before? Why just now? Okay. When you also got law in place? That is over. The game is over, right? That is why right now nobody talk about the explanation, the expansions of the All-IFA and Radio Free Asia from Cambodia to the US. Nobody talk about that anymore, okay? Because we got law in place, we got schedule of commitment of Cambodia that does not allow the commercial operation mode 3 of broadcasting service supplier into Cambodia. You got my point, guys? Okay. Got my point? All right?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
It's very tricky. If you have any question to respond back to the US, you might concede your position to the US. But when we know something in our hand, when we have some logical argument, do not care. They might be very good at English, but the way that they convey the English argument might not be convincing enough, might not be appealing, might not be logical, that we can actually rebut them anytime. So in order to fight with the foreign counterpart, you must be very prepared, well prepared, very much ready, and also have the legal argument in hand. Because political argument is no longer valid, is no longer listened. Nobody cares when you talk about our political decision or our democracy. Or nobody cares because democracy is very abstract. It is the illusion. It is the belief. It is not a consistent legal framework that everybody must respect. It is the argument. It is the belief. It is the invitation that might vary from one place to another. Democracy has no standard. One set cannot fit all. Let's say that. But law is law. You cannot interpret any law that deviates from the basic definition of the original law by the founder of law, by the drafter of the law. They give you space to interpret, but you cannot interpret something that the founder did not mean so, or the clause did not provide so. So be technically equipped, not politically motivated. All right, that's my advice for you. When you are working at political level, everybody had you, trust me. But if you are working at the technical level, everybody admire your potential. You are quite small, but the way that you talk, prove them that you are unbeatable. You are quite challenging, okay? Okay. Yeah, and then after we finish our examination, midterm examination, we will look at the procedural elements of trade negotiation. I'm gonna explain to you what does it mean by commercial diplomacy and economic diplomacy? What are the difference between commercial diplomacy and economic diplomacy? And assigning group presentation, I don't want. I'm gonna remove this. You will also look at the process and analytical framework of trade policy, for example, from setting agenda, from making a position or decision to implementations of the policy, and then it came to the evaluation or monitoring and so on. Okay. And topic number 8, you will look at the preparation and strategy for effective trade negotiation. You will know what are the strategies that have been applied by a negotiator. For example, when you cannot deal on something, you might say, I have no mandate from my minister, so I cannot agree to your proposal right now. I need the decision from my management first, my minister first. So this is also a strategy that you can lead the meeting safely. peacefully. Nobody accuse you because they believe that you are not coming here with the decision power. But indeed, you already got a mandate by the minister that you can decide all matter instantly on the table. But you tell them a lie that sorry, I cannot talk on this point because my minister has not yet given me any mandate to decide by myself. So when you ask something, I can take notes of your concern, your proposal, and then report to my minister for the management decision. So see you in the next round, okay, for example. So this is also a tactic, okay, a tactic. Sorry, sir. I think we cannot talk about this. Let's just talk about low-hanging fruit, low-hanging fruit issue or small item issue first. I don't want to jump into critical issue like this. Oh, sorry, sir. I think time is almost up. I think I have no more power to critically analyze your proposal. Okay. So we got so many techniques that are, not legally bound, that are not written, but it might be flexible depending on the, shrewdness, depending on the smartness, depending on the innovations of the trade negotiator. Okay, trade negotiator. Yeah, and you will also look at the process of signing FTA. We start from where? From signing TOO, term of reference, looking at the scope of FTA, what are the key principles for the negotiation. It might be in the principle of MFN, or it might be principle of the existing agreement. It might be principle of unilateral, or it might be in the principle of reciprocity. Okay, so we have to build this kind of principle in that one before we start negotiation. Okay. And then, yeah, we will look at entry into force and domestic reform and domestic trade policies. So we have more. I'm going to include investment law as well, international investment law. I'm going to include innovation semester, and we'll also include the LDC graduation in Cambodia. Everybody know that Cambodia has already passed the first triennial review by the United Nations Limit Committee for Development Policy in 2018, 2021. But you don't know the exact procedure, exact time left that Cambodia will face, and what exactly that Cambodia will graduate from the LDC status, 2018 or 2024 or 2028. So this semester, I'm going to insert one special or many special chapter that are very much relevant to the present Cambodia context, especially LDC graduation, safeguard measure, subsidy, and investment law. Investment law. You will look at the Calvo Doctrine. You will look at ICIT, International Centers for the Investor Dispute Settlement. Okay. When I talk with the US said that, can you tell me what are the mechanisms that Cambodia has upheld in the international framework that might be acceptable by the US congressman, US lawyer, the US government? We raised one case that Cambodia signed the ICIT, International Investor or International Center or International Convention on Investor State Dispute Settlement, ICIT Convention. We already signed ICIT Convention in 2005. Under the ICIT Convention, investor can file complaint against the hosting government, against the host government. You are the private investor under international law. Principally, you cannot file complaint against state because you are a private entity. You have no legal personality. I think you know the word legal personality when you studied international law. You have no legal personality to file complaint against the government. But under the ICIT Convention 1985 or 1965, private investor can file complaint against the host government when the host government does not provide fair compensation, or when the host government decided to confiscate or expropriate the private property of the foreign company stationed in the country. Or if the foreign government did not provide any legal remedy, for example, the court does not allow the foreign investor to hear, to say what they want to. So this kind of absence of legal action will allow the investor in Cambodia to file complaint against the government of Cambodia to the international center, arbitration center, or international court. Okay. So Cambodia already signed the ICIT Convention in 2005. And then in 2009, we got one case by the U.S. company that filed complaint against the Cambodian government. And then we went to the Hague, the arbitration center at the Hague, Netherlands, between the Cambodian government and the private company of the U.S. Still, finally, they awarded the victory to the Cambodian party. So we told the U.S. that here we accepted international obligation. We allow you to not only use our domestic court. If you don't rely on our court, you feel that our court is very corrupt, our court is very lacking transparency, or it's not acceptable, you can bring the complaint to the International Arbitration Center or International Court. We already accept. So here it means that our investment regime is very liberalized. We open for everything. We provide you take incentive, take holiday when you join special economic zone. Okay. You can file complaint against my government when my government does something wrong. Again, the property of the company, again, the process or the operation of the company, you can file complaint against my government to the international court. We accept that. So why don't you still come to Cambodia to invest? And you say that we only open for China. What is the point? Okay, we got one case between the US and China or between the US and Cambodia government. It is a very good example in 2009. We signed ISET Convention in 2005. 2009, the US filed complaint against us. So you can see, we accept almost everything. But why you always say that we only favor Chinese investors in Cambodia, not the US? Okay. And you can see, the Coca-Cola company already signed a MOU with anti-corruption unit in Cambodia. So if any officer that process the documentations of Coca-Cola seeks under-table money or corrupt or bribe money, anti-corruption unit will inspect you directly. Coca-Cola is just focusing on their production operation. Don't care about this. Anti-corruption unit, ACU, will take charge of this. Will execute all the corrupt officer that did the under-table money, for example. So you can see even Coca-Cola, a very well-known American company, enjoy a lot of benefit from the Cambodian investment regime. So why you always accuse that we only support Chinese investor, not a Western investor? Okay. So we got many arguments to raise. Okay. And you say that our economy depend or rely completely on the Chinese economy. But look, we have not yet seen any yuan currency used in Cambodia, but only the US. Almost all aspects of our expenditure, we only use US. We always use US. Even our charge, even our balancing phone balance charge. For example, I need to charge my phone like $1. We have no the number in Khmer real, but we only use $2, $2, $3. Okay. When you buy a car, nobody talk about can I buy a car that costs 800 million real? You never say so, but you will say, can I buy a car that costs 50,000 US dollar? $50,000, for example. Okay. So everything is right now dollarized. Okay. And when you come down from the hotel that you stay, you will see a lot of Starbucks company in Cambodia, a lot of American car, let's say that Ford car, okay, and so on. So why you always say that? And you never see Chinese car in Cambodia, right? Mostly we only see Japanese car, British car, German car like BMW, or Ford American car like Ford, for example, or Mazda, for example. Okay, but very few Chinese car in Cambodia. And you say that we rely on Chinese economy. We are the client of Chinese patron. We are not, okay, for Cambodian government. Okay, you got my point, guys? Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, why don't you say it to the US, sir?
Yeah, I talk. Yes.
Record video and send to Joe Biden, sir.
No. Come on. Don't kill me this way, right? Kill me this way. And this morning I got a very great opportunity for the first time in my life to be assigned to represent my ministry. And I sat with all the spokesperson from all ministry. Okay? And I'm the lowest one. Nobody know my role. Okay? They address me, Excellency. I say, no, come on. I'm so low. But I'm so young. Okay, I'm still in my learning curve. Okay, so I need to learn more. But I'm so privileged. Yeah. Last night I was improving, but when my Secretary of State said that right now the leader decided to assign you to represent our ministry to talk with the US tomorrow, today morning, I mean, at the Ministry of Public Works and Transport. It's a very good chance. And if I said no, it means that I lose a chance to enjoy the learning place, to save credit for negotiating with the leader for my promotion in the future. So I said yes, even though I feel, oh, what should I do tomorrow? Because I'm gonna face a lot of spokesperson from online ministry in Cambodia to face with the US. And I'm so low, but I accept, yes, I go tomorrow, Excellency. Let me go. And then I left my hometown at night at 11 p.m. and prepare for the meeting at 8 a.m. in the morning today. Okay. So you can see, never say no to opportunity. Okay. Even though you think that it might be invisible, impossible, accept it, learn from it, build a credit from that. And you know what happened? I got one coupons, okay, to join 3 or 5 restaurants in Cambodia for 1 year. Okay. Because he's the one that owned many restaurants when he went on restaurant. I never know that. I just know last night. But Tom, thank you so much for quickly accepting my proposal. You helped me a lot. Tomorrow I'm gonna allow my assistant to give you, I'm gonna order my assistant to give you one very special VIP coupon, okay, to enjoy a restaurant, let's say the Topa, okay. We got Topa, we got Kema and so on for 1 year, okay. only 1 yes, okay. 1 yes, I got 1 year, okay. So you have to accept what is risky for you, okay. Do not be afraid, because the risky thing always give you a lot of opportunity that many people have given up, okay. It will not kill you, okay. Nobody will imprison you for just talking something that is not correct. You can correct it later on. Nobody's gonna kill you when you commit something wrong in a meeting. So take it, prepare for it, fight for it. That's the credit to talk, to negotiate for promotion in the future. Okay? That is my experience I want to share with you. Okay. Okay. So can I stop my lecture now? And then next week, we're going to move on to the first lecture on fundamental theory of international trade, the first slide. Are you okay with that? Or you want to have another session?
We can postpone by now, teacher.
Okay. The rest, are you fine?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher,
like
yes.
Yeah, hello, guys. Yeah, I hope you are fine, right? Because I'm so exhausted, okay? Honestly speaking, so frankly, I'm so exhausted, so tired. In the morning at 5 a.m., I have to leave my home from Chom Chao to the Ministry of Public Works, the new building at Risai. So you can see very far. Okay. But excited. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yeah. Come on, Davin.
You may you course syllabus too?
Yeah, I'll be posted. Yes.
No, I don't see.
Really? Check on the file in the course syllabus channel.
No, I don't see them.
What about the rest? Are you able to see the course syllabus uploaded?
we don't see it too, John.
Okay, wait. Okay, wait, guys. Course syllabus E4. Wait. Oh, wait. Sorry. Okay, let me pause once again. Wait, guys. I'm going to find that file.
Teacher, one more.
Wait. Yeah, come on.
From
Yes.
last semester, did our class have anyone failed attendance? No, right?
No. Yeah, because I did not call attendance every day, but I check on the attendance summary on the Microsoft Team. Okay. And I don't care about the attendance much. Trust me, I don't care, because I know that we are all busy. But if you don't come, you miss what you should know. That is my value, not your value. I don't care whether you come or not. If you just come and then don't study, that is meaningless for me. Okay. Just stay home, do something else. I don't let you fail. But you know nothing from my course, okay? and you will not be able to study this kind of course in the other class in the other university. Trust me, not available in the other university. Okay. Only at IPL. And when they call me to teach at Rule, they call me to teach master at NUM, I reject it because I want to only serve the module for IPL, standard for IPL, stay here and ERA, only ERA and IPL. Okay. So next month, next semester, I'm going to teach economic diplomacy for the high-ranking officer student, the 12th generation of ERA. Okay. I think some of them were my former student at IPL, so I got to be excited when I get to see their face once again. Okay. Okay, I already uploaded the course syllabus IE409 training negotiation. Okay, did you see it right now?
Yeah, teacher, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your reminder. Okay, guys, thank you so much. And I'm so alone in my room, in my office, at my ministry. So very appreciate that you joined. I mean, many people joined me today, the first day of our second semester that we go on board all together. And I believe that my today lecture is very brief, and I'm so tired, honestly speaking. So apologize that I left early, okay? And I think you are also happy to leave early as well. Okay. So have a nice day. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye,
Good
teacher.
night.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye.